Top of the morning, back at it again with another one, and we're looking at Twitter. If you don't know now, you know. Be sure to give us a follow. The handle is SCHMDII, and we'll be dropping some sauce, just signals, free signals, insights, or anything that I find interesting or valuable that I will pick up. I'll just post it up here. And we can connect as well. Be sure to just give me a follow, shoot me in the DM, comment on any of the posts, and let's grow the community. So we had CPI on Wednesday. We're just gonna be going through the price movement of that particular day, just to look at a trade that would have been very, very beautiful. I didn't take it because of rules. I noticed when price was there by the long term or the higher time frame PD array, which I'll talk about now. And yeah, man, it is what it is. We'll get the next trade the next time. But this is what we're looking at. Core CPI month on month came out higher than anticipated. Yeah, it's tricky. CPI year on year higher than anticipated and than the previous. Very big, very big. And then we had FOMC meeting minutes as well. Just note to self, on days like this, when you have a red folder news driver event happening in the morning session, so anytime before 12 EST, and when you have another one in the afternoon of that same day, rather just leave that trading day altogether, because the movement in the morning session it'll be a bit lackluster. It could be better, but just leave it, man, because yeah, on this particular day we were looking forward to it since the previous Friday. I had a very profitable NFP, and then came Monday, I was just impulsive. I took unnecessary losses. Tuesday did the same thing, and then Wednesday did the same thing, and then I was just like, you know what, I think it's best that I just sit it out and just collect my bearings, you know, reflect, go over my journal and trades, and just come back stronger next week. And that will be the purpose, or what we will be doing, you know, just coming back stronger, more focused, and not repeating mistakes that we made today, or rather this week. And that's all we can do. It's you versus you. Just make sure that you are 1% better than what you were previously. And yeah, man, but we got the numbers for CPI. Came out way hotter than expected. The narrative that's been boosting stocks, or the indices in particular, is the conversation that we will see rate cuts if we continue to see resilient and strong job numbers, while at the same time seeing a reduction in CPI. NFP came about and we got a very strong and positive number, but now here we are with very weak numbers for the CPI, so markets reflected that accordingly. Let's go to TradingView and take a look-see. Maximizes. So as you can see, for the week we had a very bullish DXY. Let me just switch all of this to the weekly time frame to help us with our analysis. Zooming in. I'm zooming in there. So as you can see, via the weekly time frames, I'm just gonna highlight this quickly. Zoom in there. And I'm just gonna bring your attention to this fair value gap here, and as well as on the DXY. Now, as you can see on the DXY, last week we came down from the top there. I spoke on that divergence that we saw between this DXY and the euro as well. In the euro, so we saw price traded up in the euro to that weekly fair value gap. Same thing with the pound DXY as well. So you can see we traded down into this fair value gap, the bullish one, which is embedded in this bullish order block on the DXY. We tapped into that and then we shot up crashed through this bearish order block, crashed through the CE consequent encroachment of the 50% level. The strong close above that midway point gives us the indication that we can reasonably expect the DXY to continue its bullish movement going into next week. So next week I'll be looking at potentially reaching up to that high. So as crazy as this may sound, 107, that's what I'm currently looking out for. Perhaps we get a retrace down to this order block here. Maybe we see 104 and then we continue to shoot up. But I'll be looking out on Monday to see if this order block here is acting as support. I don't expect price to go below this. I expect price to continue pushing up, because if you look here, kind of have a balanced price range. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, you see conversely on the other charts there on the euro traded up into a bearish order block. I mean fair value gap that is supported by that bearish bearish order block over there. We jumped into that price range and shot down. We'll probably reach towards these lows, judging by the weekly chart here. You can see the same thing happened on the pound. Traded up into its weekly imbalance and then we proceeded to sell off. But now I'm just gonna zoom in more into the hourly chart on the DXY. We'll be looking for price the day CPI numbers dropped. So the 10th, as you can see there, we have the 10th, and we're just going to be investigating further. You can see we had this very hectic price spike, but then let's just zoom into the DXY chart quickly just to investigate and look further. I'm going to remove that. Now, this zone is that weekly fair value gap that you saw on the weekly chart previously. So price on the previous day, this is Tuesday, traded down back into that weekly level. As you can see, we took out some sell side. We ran those sell stops there, reversed, opened up a fair value gap, and now, as you know, fair value gaps that form after we have ran stops tend to be high probability. So I'm just gonna mark that out, make that a bit bold. And then I'm just going to add this as well. Okay. So we had a consolidation. When did the day start? Wednesday started about there. We had the consolidation. Price dipped down and then shot up. Accumulation, the manipulation, and then the distribution way up to the upside. And as you can see, it's just been pushing up ever since. But then I just want to take our attention over to this. Now we had the zone, the weekly fair value gap. That's the midway point of that fair value gap. Price barely traded down to that. This indicated to us that the DXY is bullish, my apologies. And as I said earlier on with this part here, as you can see, we had sell stops there, stop loss orders for people who are going long. So if they'd buy somewhere in this area, this is where they'd put their stop loss. For those who are looking to trade the breakout, they would have sell stops here. So price tapped that zone, triggering the breakout traders who are trying to sell short via sell stops, and as well as those who had protective stop losses set there. They get taken out as the stop losses get taken out. The people trying to break out trade to the downside get triggered in, and then it reverses back, hitting their stop loss probably up there somewhere. And yeah, my attention was that order fair value gap though. Fair value gap order block, as you can see, we didn't crash past the halfway point of this particular hourly bullish order block that formed after we ran stops. And then we opened up the fair value gap, tapped into it. We were there for quite some time, 5, 6, 7. And then when 8 came, we just shot up. Very beautiful price action, extremely beautiful. Shot all the way up, right? All the way up. So we can see what the dollar is doing. We'll look for the mirror or the opposite to occur on the foreign currencies. So we'll be expecting them to sell off, which is precisely what they did. I just want you all to note the time here. This is, let's say, 12 till about 8 New York time, right? That's what happened on the DXY. Between 12 and 8, we crashed into that bullish fair value gap before shooting up to the upside. Now let's take a look at the euro. We're going to go straight to the 1 hourly time frame. Now that we're on the hourly time frame, we zoom in. Remember that zone we drew? This represents that weekly fair value gap. We traded up into it again. Ran some some buy side liquidity. Just gonna mark that out. Buy side liquidity. So the inverse of the condition on the dollar, we have people who sold the euro. They would have their protective stop loss orders over there. As price trades up, they get triggered out of their position. The breakout traders who want to buy the breakout have buy stops up here. So as price shoots up, it triggers them in, but then it reverses, taking out their stop loss orders, which would probably be here, if not there or there. So now from 12, Tuesday, we hit that. This becomes a bearish order block, sell down. We open up that fair value gap on the 1 hourly time frame, which lines up as well with that weekly bearish fair value gap, giving us a high probability sell scenario. Just gonna make that bold. So as you can see, after running buy side liquidity, order block creates a fair value gap. They laid towards each other and laid on top of that weekly fair value gap as well. Midnight until 8, consolidating, accumulation, manipulation, and then we distribute. And we sold off beautifully. That is about 233 pips. Crazy. Just crazy. And it'll probably still continue to sell off to the downside. I'm looking for an opportunity to go in and add a short perhaps. I'll be watching on Monday what happens. Perhaps we trade up to maybe that. This price action here will act as further resistance, and then we'll continue to sell off to the downside. Dollar looks very bullish. Foreign currencies will probably proceed to be ever so bearish. And also considering the geopolitical tensions currently happening right now, I see the dollar picking up still. Let's take a look at the pound to see what it was doing at that same time. Similar situation. If you notice, we had that weekly fair value gap. Let's go down to the hourly time frame just to take a look. See, hourly time frame, here we are, Tuesday. We ran the stops there. The price action on the pound wasn't as clean as on the euro, but they are two pairs that are closely correlated to each other, so they both displayed a similar movement. Buy side liquidity, as you can see, we ran the buy side on Tuesday. Order block down close, or the displacement to the downside. We opened up that fair value gap. I'm just gonna mark it out. As you can see, we left a double top. I anticipate price perhaps coming back to return to this level, but like I said, not as clean as the euro, but we did still sell off. Let me just pull out the midway point of the weekly fair value gap. You can see prices respecting that midway point. It's not closing or crossing above that midway, so that gives us further indication that price is bearish, and it wants to sell to the downside, and that's indeed what happened. The cleaner entry was on the euro though, as we had structure supporting the trade idea. Now for here, had a max of about 271 pips. Crazy, very healthy. Just so beautiful to get to witness that, and just see how price is respecting these PD arrays. Thank God for the skill, and shout out to anyone who caught the sells in the euro and the pound this past Wednesday during CPI. If you found value in this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and please share the video so that we can also get in touch with other traders and grow our community. Thank you all for the time and coming back to the videos. I'll be sure to keep posting more value and sauce, and let's continue to grow. Like I said, we're on Twitter. Be sure to give us a follow. We can link up, talk here, and just share ideas and just continue to grow. Thank God for the skill, and all the best for the upcoming week. Stay safe.